WIOX, and that was a piece from Fox News. And now we go to Larry Sparano. Hey, I think that's a good idea, really.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
again, Ken, this
seriously,
is the emergence of the plan
seriously.
B that we've been
Yeah,
speculating about.
yeah. I mean, I can't see any real downside. I mean, she's really been vindicated with the email stuff. I mean, and as she's been thoroughly vetted in the last, election. She got more of the popular vote than Trump did. She's a woman, and I mean, what do you think?
Well, I don't know if she's been vindicated. We disagree on that, but whatever, whatever that case may be. Yeah, I mean, think of how clever this is. If this was what it was in her mind all along, and maybe some of the party regulars who were still on board with
Yeah,
her,
yeah,
you throw out Biden, and let's say between now and November, yeah, he continues to fall apart, as Johnson,
right,
the former governor of New Hampshire, just said.
right,
Uh, then Hillary steps in to replace him as the candidate who then becomes the nominee. Or if Biden does make it to the nomination and does make it to the presidency and then becomes infirm after
right,
taking office, she steps in as president. Presto, her dream, her lifelong dream, starting
right.
with Vassar, that yearbook in Vassar, that she would be the first female president of the U.S., comes
Right.
true finally.
I mean, no, it's an interesting scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, and you think that she would accept the vice president
She
spot?
would, because she would be just a heartbeat or a mental capacity beat away from the presidency.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. And
it's a perfect plan for
no,
her
it
anyway.
is. It's good.
But
And
but
plus,
the flaw there,
but
Ken,
what?
I think, is
Yeah,
that even though she won the popular vote the last time, assuming that she still has that kind of staying power with the popular vote, she still has to get past those key swing states that went for Trump. And according to the polls, it doesn't seem likely, as far as I could figure out, that those swing states would this time in 2020's election go over to her camp.
but I mean, I think Trump. I think Trump. Two things. I think Trump didn't deliver for those swing states, and secondly, I think part of Hillary's losing those states, from what I've read, anyways, that she really didn't go there and campaign, and especially near the end, and that she lost some votes because of that. And so I think she could maybe bring him on board.
The possibility, Ken, that's what you just said is an intriguing possibility. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm misreading her non-support in those swing states. But also, um, what would be working in her favor and against Trump, as you mentioned, him not delivering. I just heard a report about how there's been so many suicides among farmers in the
Oh, really?
Midwest in the last 3, 4, 5 years. Even with
Wow.
Trump taking office, he
Yeah.
hasn't delivered, he hasn't restored the farming economy. So, yeah, there's a number of things working against Trump, but whether that's enough to overcome the negatives that Hillary traditionally had. In 2016, she started with what, a negative of 42% or something like that
Yeah.
going into the campaign. So, whether that's all erased now or erased enough to put her over this
Right.
time, I don't know. But I mean, the plan is
Yeah.
very clever, isn't it?
But I mean, I think it's clever. But I think the Democrats have to have a woman. I mean, they're either, and I think they both might end up with women. If
Yeah, as VP, you
as
mean?
VP, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure, and she steps in as VP, and then after that, again, it's a short step to the presidency if Biden falters.
Yeah, but I mean, and I think he's going to falter. Everybody's complaining now that they changed the rules of the next debate, where they're going to sit down because Biden can't stand up for 2 hours.
How much fodder will Fox make of that about Biden being infirm? He has
Yeah,
to sit
right,
down now.
right,
Bloomberg had to be on a box. They were saying how Bloomberg
right, right.
has to sit down. So, and again, a lot of his gaffes are exaggerated by Fox and other Biden critics. For instance, about him saying that we have to vote for Donald Trump. The complete sentence was we'd have to elect Trump if we don't get together as Democrats.
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
I
he
heard
made
that.
sense, but of course, they clipped it, took it out of context. But it just points out how easy it is for them to depict him
Yeah,
as continuing to weaken and falter. I mean, he has real gaffes, but a lot of them are not as bad as Fox and other critics interpret them as.
Right, right. Let me ask you a quick question about the elections, the primaries today. I mean, if Bernie doesn't do well, what does he do? Is he finished? Or
Yeah,
does
I
he
mean,
stay in?
I don't know. I mean, he might stay in to be a broker at the
At the
convention.
convention, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, if he doesn't do well today, I mean, in terms of electoral votes, there's nowhere to go for him. So,
Yeah.
what's your reading on it? Have any possibilities about what he could do
No,
from here on in if he stays in?
I think he'll stay in. I mean, I think he's going to stay in to the end of to the convention, and I'm worried that his supporters aren't going to come out to vote
Come
if
out
he's
on
not,
election day, yeah.
on
Well,
election
if
day.
he stays into the convention, and the convention is thrown into turmoil because of Biden's increasing infirmity, if that happens, then
Right.
maybe Sanders still has a chance. I don't know. So yeah, that would be an incentive to stay in and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, sir. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Take care. Bye bye.